Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and I am a drone pilot, and today it's all about drones. Now many of you see me fly camera drones, you know, the ones that come in a box, you take it out of the box, you charge up the batteries and you go fly. Those are all designed for beginners. In other words, if you have no skills at all, those are the drones you fly. In the advanced hobby, we have something called FPV, and that's when you put on goggles. They don't come in a box, very rarely all ready to fly. You have to have all this knowledge about how everything works in the RC hobby, radios, transmitters, receivers, and configure everything, and it's very difficult for beginners. So with all that said, companies keep on trying to make FPV drone kits for beginners, and this one here, made by Makerfire, is designed for beginners. This is called the Makerfire Armor Blue Bee FPV Starter Kit. It's a 65mm racing drone, but you don't get any FPV goggles. They call it FPV because they give you a tiny little IPS monitor. Now I've tried the monitor, and it's actually really good, so I think a lot of people will enjoy this. Who is this for? Who is this for before we get started? I would say if you have children in your family and you want to get them an FPV drone to fly around the house, this is the one to get because they'll have a lot of fun with it. If you're an adult, you might find the controller a little tiny for your hands. Well, enough of me talking. Let me show you what you get in the box. Check this out. Here we have the box the FPV starter kit comes in, and these are the specifications of the contents of the kit. Stop the video if you want to check it out. Opening the box, we'll find our drone, monitor, controller, and accessories. First item in the box would be instructions for your monitor and instructions for your drone and remote. Next, you have a goodie bag containing joysticks, battery charger, audio visual connectors, and spare props. The included monitor has a 3-inch display, 480 by 320 resolution. On the side, you have the power button, as well as searching the bands and channels, and a menu button. On the opposite side, you have the charge port, as well as an audio visual port. And on the bottom, you have a threaded monitor mount. Two 1S batteries are included, and they are both 300 milliamp hours. The drone is a plastic construction with brush motors and prop guards. The camera can be repositioned to suit your flying needs. Looking at the back of the camera, you can see that the antenna is removable. As well, there is a switch to change video channels. There is a bracket on the bottom to hold the battery in place. And next, let's take a look at that teeny tiny remote. It is rather small. Check this out. This is the size of my hand, and this is the size of the remote. It basically fits in your palm. Lots of buttons on the remote. None of them are marked, but there's not many you need to know about. Two AA batteries are required to power the remote. A clamp holder is included so that you can attach the mini monitor to the remote. Now let's take a look at the weight of the battery and the drone. So the battery weighs 9 grams, and with the drone it weighs a total of 35 grams. Here you can see the mini monitor in action, and the display is very clear. Alright, back to me. Let me show you this beast in action. I have rolls of tape that I'm going to place down here, take the box, stick it on top, put the drone on top, and I'll fly it right here, and actually I'll show you how everything works. So remember the controller I said was teeny tiny? Well, if you have little tiny hands, then you will enjoy this. So the kit comes with 2 batteries, so you get a little bit of flight time. I don't think the flight time will be very long because it has to run the camera and the motors on here. Now, of course, the motors are brushed because this doesn't cost very much. Did I tell you the price? I think the price, when I looked at the last time I looked at the price, it's around $70 US, maybe $80 US. It's under $100 anyways. So before I take this for a flight, let me just show you a few other things about this little guy. Battery on the bottom, and it is this type of connector in case you have these batteries lying around your house for something else. You do get a little charger with this. Brush motors, of course. The camera angle tilted as you wish. Most people are going to fly it with it straight. The reason it tilts is because if you fly very fast, the drone is going to look down and you're going to see the ground, so you want to tilt it like this to fly zoomy fast. You do have a switch on top. You can see it right there to change video channels. And the only reason you change video channels is if you're getting interference, or you bought 2 of these and they're both on the same video channel. Put one on one channel, one on another channel. The only thing you need to know about the controller is you have 2 buttons on top, and one is for flipping the drone and the other one is for speed, and I don't know which one is which, so I'll have to figure that out when I'm flying it. You also have a takeoff mode. There's a button around here. I can't find it. Anyways, you press one of these and it takes off automatically. If you can't find the button, just pull the joysticks down and out and the motors will start and you take off. And the only thing you need to know about your display is if you can't find the video signal of the drone, you press the one that's got a little U, like a backwards arrow on it, hold it in, and it goes into search mode, and it will find all the video channels that are active. Up here is where you charge it with the USB cable, and all the way down here is where they supply a cable, an AV cable, that you can send video into this thing or out. You just connect the wires. There's a diagram showing you how to connect the wires to go in or out. And that's it. There's not much more. So let's go flying. First thing, turn on this little remote. It's got batteries in it, and then I'm going to turn on the display. Where is the power button? There it is right there, power button. So this will come to life, and that's what we get. So no signal, and as soon as I plug in the battery, I should get a signal. Plugging in the battery, got some lights coming on, plop it down flat. Two things I have to point out. One is we have a signal, so you can see the video signal on my display. Second thing is this remote is not connected to this drone because it's one of those ones where it says you got to move this joystick to connect. So let's move it up and down. That's the sound of connecting. They are connected. So now I can fly this, and I can fly it right here in front of me and try not to chop off my head. Although it wouldn't hurt because it's brushed motors and they have prop guards around them. So it says before you take off, you have to calibrate the gyro for a flat surface. And I'll see if I can do it backwards. And to do that, you pull the joysticks down and in. Let's see what happens. There we go. It blinked. I saw a little red light blink. So now it knows it's level and it's at height 0. So it's ready to fly. I'm going to fly it manually. I'm not going to do the auto takeoff because there's a microphone right there. You can't see it in the camera, but that's how it's picking up my voice. So I'm just going to pull the joysticks down and out, I believe. There we go. We be flying. Sounds like one of my props is touching something, but I don't know if you can hear that little buzzy sound. But here we go. We can fly around. So I'll take it up. Going up. And I'll bring it back to me so it's in the camera. Come on over here. There we are, floating. It's hard to fly an FPV drone or any drone above something because the air coming out of the props is trying to push it all over the place, especially around walls or something like that. But I'm just showing you this is how easy it is to fly. And I don't know if I can turn and show you the No, I can't. I'm trying to turn my body and show you what the video is coming out of my little display at the same time. No, you won't see it. So you know what I'm going to do? This is a normal FPV drone, so that means I can hook up my Fat Shark goggles and record the video coming out and fly it around my house and show you what it looks like. So let's do that now. Let's bring it over here, pop it down in my hand. It's going to turn off when I stop moving. So let's do that now, but I'll just show you quickly. This is what the video signal looks like. I find the IPS display on here is just outstanding here. Let me point it at me. And what I mean by outstanding is it's very clear for a very small display. And not only that, the colors, the contrast, the brightness is very well represented. It's pretty good. You know, for an under $100 kit with a display like that, that's pretty decent. Because you can use this display with all your other FPV stuff that you get into. Like you can have a $1,000 drone and use this display and hand it to somebody. You go fly your drone that's analog and they can watch the video on here while you're flying. If you own a pair of FPV goggles, you can fly this with goggles on because it's just a normal analog FPV signal coming out and it shoots out on all bands, all channels. So I just plugged in my Fat Shark. They made a beep. I'm going to tell them to search for that video signal. So I just press a button. So I can actually fly with my goggles on. But since you're going to buy this kit to fly it with just this little display, I'll fly it with the little display and show you. That way I can leave my glasses on. So all I'm going to do on my Fat Sharks is I'm going to turn on the recording system. So the Fat Sharks are recording this video signal that I see here. And I'm still using the same battery I was using when I hovered it at first. And let's go up. And it's coming right at me. So up. There we go. And go over my shoulder. And I'm going to stare at the little display. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how good the signal is indoors. I see a little bit of lines interference on the signal. But it's nothing that I can't fly through the house. There I am going through the house. Staring at this little display. It's pretty cool. And coming back to me. That's better than I thought. This is really good actually, guys. You know what? It's got altitude hold. I am not adjusting the height. So if I put the height down, it just stays where I leave it. All right, so this is perfect for kids or people that just want to have a lot of fun flying around. Yeah, it's got altitude hold, so it's not like a real FPV drone where you control the up and down as you're flying. You don't even need to touch the left joystick if you don't want to. It's really good. Yeah, awesome. Bring it over here. Go into my kitchen, my messy kitchen, because I just had breakfast. No, we don't want to look at that then. Let's come back this way. All right, here's what I want to show you as well. I'm going to go stand by my other camera and see if I can fly it while you look at the little display screen here. So I'll show you what I actually see. Okay, I'll just let it sit there, and I'll come over there. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this in front. I'm trying to hold this there, and I'm looking through the camera at the same time. This is going to be difficult. All right, see how I'm flying it? So that's what you would see. I'm looking right at the monitor. I'm staring through the camera at the monitor to fly it. And look at this. I can fly it like that. That's incredibly awesome. So I told you the display is pretty decent on this thing. Oop, let's get that back in. And let's bring it back over to where I am. I'm over here. like that. There I am. So I think I was wrong about the battery power because it's still the same battery and it's still going. Okay, so I think the button on my left is the speed. So let me just try this. I'm gonna put it over my shoulder. Come back this way. Over my shoulder. Okay, let me see how fast it is forward. That's the speed forward. You can probably see that. I'm gonna hit the button. There was 2 beeps, so that's a little fast. Oh yeah, that's faster. That's faster. And then I think it has a 3rd speed. Oh, 3 beeps. Oh, this is called Destroy Your Little Drone. Watch this. It's fast. Okay, 3rd speed's fast. Back to 1st speed. Let's try the flippy mode. I'm just gonna back up a bit. Flippy mode, see if it even works. It might need to be at a certain height. I'm gonna press the right button to flip it. Take it up a little bit and flip. It did it. It's pretty cool. I think kids would have a lot of fun with this. All right, and then bring it down. All right, back to me. I've done the little flight. I did the flippy modes. I did the speed test. I flew it around the house. I couldn't take it outside because it's pouring rain today. But, you know, that's the great thing about this kit is that you can fly it indoors. And if you want to go in your backyard and fly it, you can definitely fly it. If you fly it outside and there's a little bit of wind, you have to put it in speed 3 because it won't be able to go against the wind. It's brush motors, but I think you could have an awful lot of fun. The cool thing with a drone like this, as you can see my little monitor here, and with this monitor, you can stick it on other things. Just put it on your little RC cars, your RC planes, anything else, because it's, you know, it's so light. And then you get the video back to this here display. And you can use that display with other things. And if you have FPV goggles that are analog, you can use those and fly around with real goggles on. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good kit, especially considering the price is under $100 US. It's pretty good. So the links are below. Go check it out. And if you have any questions on this kit, just post them below and I'll get back to you. But for now, I say thanks for watching and I'll catch you in a future review. Bye.